One time for the old times in the East Bay. It's the coach. This is our second of two here on this opening Monday night. Coming up, the Oakland Raiders, playing in likely their final home opener in the 5-1-0 as they host their division rivals, the Denver Broncos. I'll be back to make sense of this opening weekend at halftime, but first, we're out to the Bay Area. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on, but for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, a new season finally here. We had the great one Thursday night. All sorts of intrigue in the games yesterday, and now we put a bow on this first weekend with a good one here tonight.
We do put a spotlight on key games, don't we? Even key nights. Thursday night has become a spotlight night. How about Sunday night? But there still is some magic to playing on Monday night, and these two teams are feeling it.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Tyre Whitehead, top 10 in tackles last year, up to make the play. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. Back to throw. Banks, and he's got Booker. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Off play action. Banks. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice. And it's
feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Tahir Whitehead coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw it.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Noah Fant, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well.
Ready? Push the outlaw. Check. No. I got.
Sutton reeling it in on the left side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And now a pass dumped off to his running back. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup.
Let's go.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's understanding where the markers are because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the 1st down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the 1st down line and still having picked it up. Really well run. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this 1st half. A 2nd one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Acho. Well, week one finally wrapping up here tonight, but more football coming your way Thursday night. It'll be the Buccaneers and Panthers in an early season NFC South battle in Charlotte. A pass there complete to Sutton, and he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they worked on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
25 yards that time.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. Two nice plays in the pass game. Now, and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. So the first trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Check, 59. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
On 1st and 10. Banks. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it was the Rams who took their first step towards a Super Bowl return by claiming the victory. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. 12-7 wound up being the final. Meanwhile, offensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Second half starts with a run by Lindsay. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things you...
It got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. 2 yards, good enough for first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball.
Off the bootleg. Thanks. And the Raiders have got him. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Banks. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 67 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Check. Watch 54. I smell fear.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Trick pass.
A give running right, Lindsey. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. It was the... They'll start on the ground with Lindsey, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the gun, Banks flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defense. They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Out of the gun, it's Booker. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Broncos on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Banks. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Flush to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Tahir Whitehead. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for Denver, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more.